A dusty, sun-drenched arena surrounded by a roaring crowd. Goliath looms like a mountain over Leo. The crowd watches from behind the wooden barricades. Goliath smirks down at the smaller warrior, crossing his massive arms. Goliath, hey, I won't show mercy. Without warning, Goliath steps forward. His bare foot stomps heavily onto the stone floor, kicking up dust with a sharp crack. Whack! Goliath lunges forward, his face contorted into a sadistic, wide-eyed grin. His massive hands reach out like claws to crush Leo. Goliath grabs Leo roughly by the neck and shoulder, locking him in a brutal, tight grapple. Leo struggles, grimacing against the brute's overwhelming power. With a massive swing of his free forearm, Goliath delivers a devastating clothesline strike across Leo's upper body. The sheer momentum blurs the air. The strike completely disorients Leo. Goliath instantly capitalizes, hoisting the young warrior into the air by his armor like a rag doll. Goliath hoists Leo fully above his head, muscles straining, preparing for a devastating finishing slam. Goliath, roaring. Triple AR. Goliath screams in primal fury as he locks his eyes onto the ground, bringing his full weight down. Goliath slams Leo mercilessly into the dirt. The impact shatters the ground, sending a shockwave of dust and debris flying upward. Thud. Leo lies flat on his back in the crater of the impact, completely motionless. His eyes are closed, his face covered in sweat and dirt, utterly defeated as the dust settles around him. Russell stands tall in the center of the dusty arena, casually dusting off his massive hands and wearing a condescending smirk. I expected you to have some skill. Russell looks down at his bare feet, standing right over the shattered crater where Leo lies flat on his back, seemingly unconscious. Russell, but it turns out you were done within a second. A group of rough gladiators laugh and cheer from the sidelines. Russell casually scratches the back of his neck, soaking in the praise. Gladiator bystander Russell, you even cracked the ground. Is this aristocrat going to survive? Up in the stands, the arena manager clutches his hands together in absolute terror, staring down at Leo's motionless body. Arena manager, somebody, please help. The arena manager squeezes his own face, crying tears of pure financial panic as the sky darkens metaphorically behind him. Arena manager, my arena will have to compensate him heavily. Down in the dust, a sudden blur of motion occurs. A sharp sound effect cuts through the air as a heavily gloved hand shoots out from the crater, firmly gripping Russell's bare ankle. Russell's smug grin instantly vanishes. His face breaks out in a cold sweat, his eye widening in absolute shock. Russell slowly twists his torso around to look behind him. Leo is already on his feet, crouching directly in Russell's shadow, completely unscathed. Russell, what? Leo looks up through his blonde bangs, a sharp, incredibly confident smirk playing on his lips. In the background, the arena manager rejoices. Arena manager, sir, you're up. Leo pulls back a tightly clenched fist, his blue eyes locking onto the massive gladiator with calm intensity. Leo the First was afraid you would say I was bullying you, so I let you make the first move. With explosive power, the Lord delivers a devastating kick straight to the gladiator's torso, launching the massive warrior clean into the air. A brilliant, fiery golden aura erupts around the Lord. A system interface blares over him. Power enhancement. He clenches his fist, completely unbothered by the fight. I trained for many years using the Lord system. How could I be knocked down by someone with such underwhelming skills? The Lord lowers his stance, a dangerous smile spreading across his face. As the golden light fades into a steady hum. Lord, let's continue. This time, I won't give you a chance. Blinded by absolute rage, the gladiator crashes back down, his face contorted in anger as he recklessly charges forward for one final, desperate strike. Gladiator. Roaring. You son of a bitch. The blonde warrior effortlessly catches Russell's massive, metal-banded wrist. With a swift, fluid motion, he uses Russell's own weight against him, flipping the giant clean over his shoulder. Blonde warrior. Smug smile, foot practically resting on his opponent. I win. Russell, groaning on the ground, sweat dripping down his face, completely bewildered, thinking, how could this happen? What on earth did you just do? Russell, gritting his teeth in pure frustration, veins popping. Let's do it again. Russell, CONTD, stomping back into the center of the ring, shaking off the embarrassment. Let's do it one more time. Blonde warrior, looking down with an amused, condescending expression. Oh my. Looks like you haven't given up yet. Then, let's try again. What? What exactly happened just now? Jaw dropped in utter disbelief. How could he win against Russell? The second crushing defeat. SFX. Thud. Russell charges blindly, but history repeats itself instantly. The blonde warrior grabs him by both arms mid-charge and slams him directly into the stone floor. SFX. Crash. Boom. Before Russell can even process what happened, the blonde warrior grabs him by the legs, hoisting the massive man into the air and slamming him repeatedly into the dirt like a rag doll. A wide, low-angle shot of a bruised and battered warrior, Russell, face down in the dirt of the arena. An imposing opponent stands over him, looking down coldly. Are you still not giving up? Russell, gasping from the dirt. Let's do it again. Close up on Russell as he painfully pushes himself up onto one knee. His face is swollen, covered in scratches, and straining under the intense exhaustion. Russell, I still can fight. Cut to the sidelines where other enslaved gladiators are watching anxiously. A burly, bearded man shouts out in desperation. Below him, a close-up of Russell's face shows sudden, stunned realization. Bearded gladiator. Just give it up. Russell, you already lost 10 times. Russell, already 10 times. A powerful, horned female beastman steps forward from the crowd. She wears heavy iron slave collars and chains, but her expression is fierce and commanding. The surrounding onlookers gasp. Female beastman. That's enough. Stop it. Gladiator, whispering. Chief, glaring. Ahead, I'll fight you. A high-angle, wide shot of the stone arena floor. On one side stands a young, wealthy-looking blonde aristocrat. On the other, the chief steps forward away from her battered crew, leaving Russell kneeling in the background. Visual. The other bearded gladiators watch with renewed hope, grinning as they cheer her on. Gladiator 1. The chief is in action. Gladiator 2. That aristocrat is done for. Close up on the young blonde aristocrat. He rests his hand on his hip, looking completely unfazed, and wearing a mocking, smug smile. Aristocrat, do you really have the right to make those decisions? Perspective shifts behind the chief, focusing on her wrapped fist and the heavy chains hanging from her wrists. The aristocrat stands at a distance, looking casual. Chief, so I just need to knock you down, right? A fierce close-up of the chief as she raises a tightly wrapped fist, her red eyes burning with determination despite her captive chains. Chief, when you lose to Me later, we'll be free. You won't go back on your word, right? Close up on the aristocrat's face. His narrow blue eyes gleam with a calculated, confident smirk. Aristocrat, I am a man of my word. Close up on Gunther, her eyes blazing with determination. She lunges forward at blinding speed, her heavy chains rattling behind her. Gunther, let's do it then. Austin's eyes widen in shock as she moves toward him. Suddenly, a glowing blue holographic interface pops up right in front of his face, momentarily blocking his view. System prompt: the barbarian, Gunther, has been detected. As a hero, Austin, internal monologue, she's so fast. Crash. Gunther delivers a heavy, swinging strike. Austin barely manages to raise his arms in a cross guard just in time to block the devastating blow, kicking up a massive cloud of dust. Close up on Austin's boots sliding backward across the stone floor of the arena, leaving deep friction marks in the dirt from the sheer force of Gunther's impact. Austin catches his breath, scowling slightly as the blue system notification floats to the side. Austin, internal monologue. The pop-up system's window screwed me over. But it's my first time seeing a hero. Gunther stands across the arena, a confident smirk on her face despite the heavy iron restraints binding her wrists and ankles. She violently stomps her bare foot onto the stone ground. Crack. The arena floor shatters beneath her heel. Gunther, let me see how strong you are. Gunther launches herself high into the sky, silhouetted against the bright blue clouds. Austin looks up from below, completely dwarfed by her shadow. Gunther, don't get distracted, human. Boom. Gunther crashes down like a meteor, shattering the stone arena floor into massive flying boulders. Austin is blown backward by the shockwave. Bottom. In the stands, a row of massive, muscular barbarian spectators roar in approval. Barbarian crowd, inaudible cheering and shouting. Up in the VIP pavilion, the arena owner clutches her hands to her chest in utter horror, looking down at the ruined battlefield. The strategist stands calmly beside her. Arena owner. MY. Arena close-up on the strategist. He closes his eyes, a single sweat drop running down his face as he realizes the sheer danger Gunther poses. The strategist, internal monologue. This barbarian chief is unexpectedly very powerful. This might not go well following her devastating descent. Gunther crouches low to the shattered ground, her hands dug into the cracked arena stones. She locks her grip onto a massive slab of broken stone. From the perspective of the stands, towering, muscular barbarians look down into the arena pit. Gunther lifts the gigantic boulder high above her head with absolute ease, her chains rattling. The crowd erupts into a frenzy. Barbarian 1. Chief. Kill him. Barbarian 2. No man could be our chief's opponent. Close up on Gunther, a wild, menacing grin across her face as she prepares to hurl the massive projectile. Gunther, stone drop whoosh. The colossal boulder is launched through the air at high speed, tearing across the sky directly toward her opponent.